What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Tuesday, everybody. The markets are highly volatile. Brendan from Market Makers. The Dow opened up 500 points this morning. Here at the time of my recording, it is, what time is it? It is 1:30, and now the Dow is down a few hundred points. Highly volatile, guys. This is a trader's paradise. When we find bottoms, get pumps. It gives you opportunities to trade breakouts and to short tops. Guys, if you look at the video right underneath it, you can join our trading Discord via YouTube now. You can get education, TA, and block state updates from professional traders. 6,000 people are there. Highly suggest you come check it out. And of course, I wanted to announce BitGet has a 200 Bitcoin tournament. It costs you nothing to join. The link is in the video description. Totally anonymous, and you don't need a VPN. You can play for 200 Bitcoin, guys. It's where I personally trade. I only recommend things I personally trade because I think it's extremely important in this day and age with all the regulations to be trading anonymously, and that is the platform, highly liquid, to do so. Let's go ahead and talk about what's happening. Something very interesting is happening here in crypto. Obviously, we had a nice little rebound. So yesterday was 180 days from the all-time high on the daily chart. That is a potential Gann pivot. And of course, today we have our up candle on the daily. This is the weekly, but I want to show you something here. So looking at the support levels, take our trend-based fib from the all-time high, the swing low, the swing high, and we're bouncing right off this 0.5. You see this? 30,206. Here's your wick. You wick below it. But, this is good and bad. It's good that you're holding support, obviously. The bad thing here is the 618, the next key fib down is at 25,950. So really, crypto's so heavily tied to what happens in the markets, and the markets are so heavily tied to what's happening in the economy. And tomorrow, guys, the CPI print comes out. The CPI is the Fed's way of measuring inflation. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. If that number comes in higher than the previous month, the markets are going to dump most likely, okay? Which means that the markets dump, most likely Bitcoin's dumping too. So when you look at support levels and stuff, keep that in mind. If the NASDAQ dumps, and the NASDAQ's down right now, what is the NASDAQ down? Or it's up right now. Let's see. No, it's down 250 points right now. It was up earlier. Everything was up earlier, and now it's down. And the SPX is down 103 points, a 2.5% move. So keep in mind, if these markets dump because they don't like that inflation number, then Bitcoin is going to dump. The alts are going to dump. Yes, you can zoom in the smaller time frames, maybe find some scalps. But, the other flip side of the coin is if the inflation number comes in, I don't know. I don't want to say the exact same as the previous month, which could potentially mean that it's peaking. That doesn't mean prices are coming down, but the actual month, year-over-year inflation's not going up at that point. I think a lot of Wall Street will view that as bullish, and you could potentially start forming some type of rally. So tomorrow is a key date, but as you can see, the S&P, since we're here, is holding 4,000. Key psychological level, because if it drops below this, it's going down to 3,700. And remember, you can't measure the moves the same way you do in crypto. Okay, this is a big move. If we go from 4,000 to 3,700, that's an 8% move. That puts, by the way, the S&P in a crash in a bear market to join Bitcoin, to join the NASDAQ, which is down, I think, 25%, and to join the Russell. Let's go ahead and measure the NASDAQ so I don't keep just saying numbers without having it in front of me. This is down, worse. It was down almost 28%. Where it's at now is 25.9. So yeah, about 26%. So guys, these are bear markets in the technical definition, the financial definition. The SPX still in a corrective market, but we'll see. Let's actually get the measurement of the SPX. So this is, I think it was 15 or 17 the other day. Let's see where it got down to, 17.85, and now it's roughly at about 16, almost 17. So a few percentage points away from being in a crash and being in a bear market as well. Let's jump back over to Bitcoin. So anyways, this is what I'm saying. Be very well aware of this. 30,206, you're at 31,709. You lose that, you're potentially going down to the next fib level. Here on the weekly time frame is 25,950. Okay, that's a big drop, guys. When you start getting to these lower numbers, it's a big drop. Let's look at the daily. Here I have the fib laid out already, 30,206. As you can see, we do have our blue candle. Again, yesterday was the 180-day mark, so this candle actually opened up last night. So, Is it a pivot? Well, I don't consider this a pivot unless you have some more candles going up to reverse the trend. It is interesting, though, especially if you're into Gann and looking at a lot of Gann's theories and Gann's methods. But we'll see if you can build upon this. And again, if that inflation number comes in good, you could be building upon this, okay? But like I said, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. These levels don't matter as much as the sentiment in the market and what the big money, the large operators do. And if that number comes in hot, I mean, I expect them to dump, okay? They're going to be selling, and you're going to have the next leg down, maybe another 5 to 8% move, starting that trend to that 5-8% move in the S&P to go to the next support level, which is going to sell off. I mean, crypto's going to sell off. NASDAQ's going to sell off. 50% of the NASDAQ is now more than 50% off of its highs. 50%. I mean, that's a huge chunk of the NASDAQ. So just keep that in mind. Looking here at the daily, again, we had that breakout volume, bearishly, obviously, and now we have the bullish volume here. Both of these candles are above trend. However, you know, we only have the one candle. I'm going to look at here in a smaller time frame as well. ATR did peak out at about 4 times ATR, showing that it was a solid move. You can see your distribution wave went down, and now you're starting to get an accumulation wave back up. Let's look at this on the 8-hour. So the 8-hour time frame, went ahead and boxed this in so you can see this a little bit better. So we had our selling. We didn't get a demand wick here. You see this? There's no demand wick. What I mean by that is shadows, right? Like this. You want to see a demand wick show support here. You did get a buying candle, but this could be pocket reaction. This could be, you know, orders that were sitting there to buy at that level. So you, in general, want to see demand wicks to show a strong support zone. This is part of the ordinal cross in Gann, okay? This Gann square 9, this is 31,000. This is not considered a strong support level. This is a strong support level, 28,000. Denoted here by the solid line versus the dotted line. This is part of the cardinal cross. So again, realistically, bad CPI, this is coming down to at least 28K, okay? So just be prepared for that. Look for that if you have any interest in trading that. That type of thing you might want to look at on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, however you like to trade. And we'll be talking about that in our room as well as potentially riding that wave. And if that number comes in good, again, you know, we're looking this way. So we'll see what happens. Let's throw some indicators on here and see where we're at. Let's look at Ichi here on the 8-hour. Let's see what kind of layout we got here. Go ahead and zoom this out some. This is the type of Kumo cloud you do not want to see, which is the fattening cloud, okay? You're getting the fattening cloud and it's descending. So the direction of the clouds matter. Remember, this is a visual representation of resistance versus having a bunch of support lines, trend lines, things like that. This is a visual representation of resistance, and it's descending. So price is going to intersect with this. And again, obviously the thinnest areas are areas you can punch through, and you got to seize upon those opportunities. And so far, Bitcoin has not. As you can see, it's just been a steady couple of little waveforms in here, but it's been a steady decline down here on the 8-hour time frame. And let's go ahead and look at a couple other things here as well. Let's turn off Ichi. Let's look at our VPVR and let's see what we're dealing with here. VPVR, let's go ahead and go back. Let's get some consistent dates here. So let's just go back to at least, what is this? This is February, mid-February? That's fine. So the point of control up here is below 40K. You're right at about 39K. You can clearly see this with the volume. So what does that mean? Well, when I'm looking at potential, you know, reversals, if you're looking at, again, that CPI number comes in good, meaning that the inflation's lower, you know, if you're looking at where this could possibly go before it peters out, that's a good target area where you have strong volume resistance. Okay, that's because you've had a lot of candle clusters here trading in this range over time. Okay, that's how you get this volume resistance. Volume is support and it's resistance. You know, Charles Dow said it's a leading indicator of the market. Volume is one of the only leading indicators of the market. Everything else is lagging. Moving averages are lagging. Everything else pretty much is lagging. Ichi is predictive, so that's interesting. But yeah, Ichi is a predictive indicator as well. So when you're looking at this, you know, 31K, if you lose 31, start watching if you're going to be heading down towards 28. And if you are going to be coming up, 34 is going to give you problems. That's going to be hard resistance as well. This was also the bottom of that Wyckoff range, so you'd have to come back into it, re-enter this box. Not impossible. Macro market is just, it's very bearish. And I'm talking specifically about the equities, but that's so tied so closely to crypto that it's just an extremely bearish marketplace to be in. And let's see what things look like here on the 8-hour time frame. Volatility got way overextended, more than 4 times ATR. You can see high relative volume on our breakout for selling. And it's just lower volume. I mean, to the point where we basically have neutral candles now. So it's just lower volume. We're just kind of sitting. Everything's kind of paused and kind of waiting. I'm telling you, they want to see that number tomorrow. The president came on TV today to try to preemptively, which makes me think it's bad, because he preemptively came on TV saying, oh, we're doing everything we can to fight inflation. I'm thinking if that number was going to be good, that he wouldn't feel the need to do that. But he gave a speech today. Well, he tried to give a speech. He mumbled, bumbled, and stumbled. Very difficult to follow, but, I'm sure some people got something out of it, but basically he has no idea what's going on with inflation. So we'll see what happens with that CPI number tomorrow. And all right, guys, well, stay tuned. I'll put out a video if we get some type of crazy market action like a mega pump or mega dump, and or else I'll just put out a video at the regular time tomorrow. And have a good evening, everybody. Go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll answer your comments below as usual. Happy trading, everybody.